So, I want to talk to you about something that is very close to my heart right now, okay? I was speaking to one of my little sisters earlier today about taking accountability as a young woman in the cultural norms that we've accepted as Black women in America. Now, this is a very strong topic for me because me and all of my sisters are in situations, well, me and two of my sisters, I'll say, I can say all. Two of my sisters are in, wait, pause, because I want to count them to three. Yeah, three sisters. So three of my sisters and I are all single moms, right? And I think I hit a nerve with my sister, right? When I said to her, you knew what you were doing when you chose to stay in the relationship when you should have let it go. That's one. And two, when you began the relationship, you wanted what you wanted, so you didn't take your time on getting what you wanted. Now, this is in no way judgment. This is me speaking from experience and watching my younger sister do exactly what I've done. So I know what was going through your head. I know what was going through your heart. And I know what you thought could have been, right? Thus, we still ended up with what we ended up with. The example I gave her was that most of society or individuals that are successful in life go through, or I say successful in life with their finances and marriage and kids and a home and, the American dream, if you will, and these successful relationships. A lot of them are dating for a time period before moving the man into their home that they worked for. It is socially acceptable for Black women to be dating a man for no more than so many months, right? Maybe talking to him off and on for a year or so, and he ends up moving into her home with her and her child or children. Now, when I look at and think about and talk to other women who have been married for a time, they may have bought their home together, their first home together. When they moved in to the apartment they moved into that apartment together, right? Let's even say, for example, I've seen situations where the woman is very firm on certain boundaries and the man moves her and her child or children in with them to their home, thus taking the role of protector, provider, right? Very rarely have I seen it happen the way me and my sisters have done it, and the man actually takes responsibility for the home he's moved into. I haven't. A man is more likely, in my opinion, to take responsibility for a home that he built, a home that he pays the bills on, a home that he, checks on. And if he really loves and cherishes and adores this woman, her child, this woman, her children, we're going to go ahead and move them in with me so that we're closer, or that, we're going to conjoin our bills, or whatever the case may be, right? But no, and so she and I also came to a place where we're like, okay, well, that may be the case, but what about when they're successful? Cool. But when they're successful, so she said, we're successful. Let's define success as we're, diving into this, right? She said when they know each other and they, just know everything about each other and they're happy together and they look out for each other, like one hand washes the other type of stuff, right? And I said, cool. That also takes time. You're not going to get that in a few months. You're not going to get that in a year. Yeah, love at first sight. They got married after 3 months and they've been together their entire lives. Like, that is a freaking anomaly, all right? There are not hundreds of thousands of cases like that, okay? It's just not what's happening. It's an anomaly. And I say that it's supposed to take some time at least, because you have to get to know somebody, right? You have to get to understand, their traumas, what they've been through, why they say the things they say the way they say them, why they move the way they move when they're moving. We are a culmination of our experiences, our parents, the teachings that we've gotten from them and the world, right? And you're not going to get that entirety of a person in a matter of months to a year. You're not. And when you move in together in such a short amount of time, you're now in a whole new reality with them, a whole new realm of thinking with them. You're going to move a certain way and they're going to move a certain way so we can keep the peace. You're less likely to be yourself and they're less likely to be themselves, because we want to make sure we keep the peace and we stay happy with each other, right? The moment the mask starts coming off more and more and more, it's when we can't keep it on any longer. There are very few people who don't necessarily wear a mask all the time. Very few, okay? You might see a lot of us conscious individuals out here making content and, on your feed and whatnot, but for us to be your best friend or the person you know up the street closely, yeah, no, I don't have a lot of conscious friends in my vicinity. I don't. So, in any case, you're going to start to really get to see this person and know this person. And now we're going to try to start changing this person so we keep the peace, so we keep our relationship, so we keep what we've built. No. Because respectfully, no one should be trying to change you and you shouldn't be trying to change them. Now, if I want to change this particular thing that I do because it causes my partner discomfort or whatever, I'm going to do that on my own, right? And if you express that something bothers you to your partner and they are not in a position to change it because it is simply a part of who they are, what are you left to do? That is not compatibility. Okay? Compatibility is you are who you are how you are, and I'm cool with it. It is what it is. I'm willing to get to know more of you. I like more of you. I want more time with you. I want more space with you. I want to support you in whatever it is you're doing, because this is great. This is nice. Or when it's not so great and it's not so nice, how are they? I heard this really, really great speaker say that, I think she's a relationship counselor, therapist, or something like that. But anyway, what she said was that a person on their worst day, how they are on their worst day, is more closely to be the person they are than who they are on their best day. And if you I stopped and thought about that, I'm thinking, yeah, we do have a lot of factors when it comes to our best day. Maybe we got up and we did our yoga and we had our prayer time and we got our good food and we got some sunlight and, everything's just copacetic, right? Because these are things that influence our day for us to have the best day. Again, very few people are working on being okay in spite of fill in the blank. Okay? Now, on your worst day, there's also influences. Maybe I didn't have all the things that I need and I didn't check off all these boxes I would like to check off and such and such and such and such and such, right? Everything's not going my way. And I lash out and I'm mean and I'm angry and I'm rude, right? I can tell you with utter certainty that the worst person you have ever met in your life, the meanest thing, you'd never see that in my sister. You'd never see that in me, right? But she would have this person that would bring this out of her, if you will, or they were so over the top that she would have to try to meet them there just to survive, so to speak. And so we get down to the root of it all, you know, in this conversation, is that, you know, you got to take time to really get to know somebody. You got to take time to really get to see if you're actually compatible, what you like about them, what you don't like about them, and if you still want to be there in spite of these things. When you make your big girl decision to stay with them and things don't go the way you expected them to, even though you know who they are you willing to swallow that? Are you okay with that? You know, we don't get to put it all off on the men when we have made it socially acceptable as Black women. We don't. So I don't know about you, but I'm adopting, or I have adopted, some new thoughts and some new habits and some new things that I intend to bring into the rest of my experience as a Black woman in America, on this earth, in this time. And some things that I'm going to be sure to talk to my daughter about, you know, and other young women, if they're willing to have that conversation with me. Because for us to have made something socially acceptable and then be depressed and crying and upset and complaining about our Black men like we didn't create the monsters, is preposterous. It ain't right. Now, that's not to say that everybody's out here doing this. Don't go taking and spinning my words around, okay? But I've seen it enough, and I've been around it enough, and I want better for all of us. I really do. And we're only going to get that when we call them to a higher standard, by calling ourselves to a higher standard, being more logical, where we would rather be liberal just so that we can have what we want when we want it, as opposed to the time, the effort, the energy, the patience to have what we want when it's time for it. You know, divine timing is everything. Divine timing is perfect, always on time. Okay. So yeah, I just want to leave you guys with that today. Thanks for tuning in. I love you. If you found this interesting, please make sure you like and share and subscribe to my channel. Okay. And I haven't done a podcast in a little while, but I'm finally back calm and back in a good space. And I'm really, really excited to talk to you guys about some of the things that we've been experiencing spiritually, physically. Yeah. Love you. Namaste.